So boys, welcome to my first ever YouTube video. Basically gonna have a super raw video, just talking at you guys of how I actually got into high ticket sales, how I got to where I am now, which is obviously living in my dream apartment in Manchester, making more money than I could ever dream of. So started off basically in sixth form, 5-6 years ago. I had every single intention of going into university. I got accepted into law. That was truly what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a lawyer in London. Did pretty well all throughout school, got like A's and B's throughout my whole time there. But I kind of saw guys online with like the cool cars and the cool watches, living remotely, living out in Bali. I kind of saw it, but for a long time I kind of put it to the back of my mind. I think, to be honest, it was just so I didn't have to accept the fact that that was truly what I wanted. And then I had a conversation with my best friend Amechi, and he said one quote that genuinely changed my life. I know it's a bit cliche, but it really did. He basically said to me, Thomas, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? And that point genuinely was a massive flip in my switch in my flip. And we still speak about it now, right? And it made me realize, yeah, I could go to university, but if I knew I couldn't fail, would I go to uni or would I actually try and start an online business to work remotely, make more money and do whatever I wanted? And that was a turning point for me. So after sixth form, I didn't go to university. I went straight into a job. I worked as a basketball coach. I worked in a warehouse. I did all kinds of random jobs, right? Just kind of pay the bills. And as you can imagine, none of them were what I wanted to do, right? The whole time I was going to these jobs, just hating it, knowing I wanted more for myself and knowing I was capable of more, essentially. So in terms of what I tried to actually make money online, this might be a little bit of a long story, but the first thing I ever tried was Amazon FBA. Again, this was all with my friend Amechi. We tried Amazon FBA. I put some pictures on the screen as well. We were selling matches. We were selling big bottles of seasoning, like Italian herbs and oregano. We spent so much time just putting them into boxes, doing the labels, selling them. And to be honest, it actually went well for about 1 week. We were working in a warehouse at the time. And we did like a £1,000 day from selling these matches, which is absolutely ridiculous. That lasted like a week, maybe a few days, probably a bit less than that, to be honest. And Amazon just shut us off. They said, no guys, you need to stop that. So it got hard. And instead of saying, oh, we'll just pivot, we'll try something else, we just quit. So again, got back into the rut of going to the job, lost a bit of motivation with the online business, was working at a warehouse again, and I started trading. I actually joined Ollie Matthews' trading mentorship. It was like £100 a month, right? Pretty stupid. I remember being at this warehouse, I was doing my stupid job, and I'd be checking my phone, waiting for these signals to come in. Again, trying to catch the trades. Again, I made a few £100, but it went down to nothing. Moved on from trading, and then I started an agency. So basically running ads for online businesses. At this point, I think I was working as the basketball coach at this point. And yeah, I actually really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed learning about ads, about automations, about how I could actually add value to these businesses. My main problem was that I couldn't actually sell to these people. So I remember spending hours and hours and hours and hours just wasting my time learning how to run ads and how to do all this nonsense, just acting busy. But I never actually spoke to a client. And to be honest, the reason was because I was just petrified of calling a business owner and being told to fuck off. Basically, I was petrified of getting on a sales call. I had no confidence with speaking to people, which was weird because I did grow up as quite like a confident person. But for some reason, when it came to speaking to business owners, I was terrified. I tried for a long time, trying to build up the courage. I just couldn't do it. So I thought, you know what? At this point as well, I think I was working a part-time job, so I wasn't on much money. I was trying to make the agency work. I thought, you know what? Let me get a 9 to 5 in sales. I will learn how to work hard, I'll stack up some cash, and I can learn the skill of sales. So I got a telesales job, basically working for a business that does lead generation for telecommunications businesses. So literally, the whole job role was just cold calling, which was the main thing I was just terrified of all this time. So I did it, I actually really enjoyed it. The guys I worked with were great. We had like a dart board in the middle of the room. It was really cool. We just played darts on a lunch break. Really enjoyed it. But again, it was this whole same thing of I knew I wanted more. I knew I wanted more freedom. I was going to the office every single day. And again, it was fun, but in the back of my mind, I knew I still wanted more. So I did that for about a year. The last few months of that job were horrific, to be honest, not because of the job, but because of me. My car broke down. I couldn't afford to buy a new one. So I was getting like an electric voice scooter to work in the rain. Literally hated my life, knowing for like the last 3 years, I've been trying all these online businesses and it just still hasn't worked. But it got to the point a year in where I had learned the skill of sales. I was actually pretty confident. I thought, you know what? Now's the time for me to go back to online business. Now I've kind of got up a bit of confidence and I've learned the skill of sales. On my Instagram, I saw something called high ticket sales, which to me seemed like exactly what I was doing now, but where I could make more money from literally wherever. So this was February 2025. I actually started looking into it. I learned appointment setting on YouTube for free. Again, kind of was pretty rubbish to be honest. I was going onto Facebook, trying to find all these job roles, messaging all these random people, trying for like 2-3 months and got literally nowhere. I was also doing it alongside my job at the time, so it was just super hard with actually committing to it fully. At this point, I realized, you know what? I've been half-assing this online business stuff for 4 years now. I had like dabbled it in, I'd tried this different stuff, but never really gone all in. And I realized that was the missing factor. So I saw these guys on YouTube or Instagram that basically had a community. So they taught you how to appointment set. They had a community of like-minded guys. They had meetups. They had access to these jobs. And I literally thought, oh my days, this is what I've been missing. I've been doing it by myself. I've been guessing. I've been half-assing it. This is what I need. So I invested 4 figures into myself. It was pretty scary to be honest, but made it happen because I knew it was the step that I had to take. The next day, I went into work and I said, guys, I'm starting this online business thing. I'm quitting. Literally the day or two after I joined this mentorship and this community. And I remember speaking to my 2 bosses, genuinely both great guys. I still speak to both of them now. But I had the conversation, they were like, what, you doing like a pyramid scheme? Like, what are you doing? Like, is it not just a scam? They said, what, are you gonna just work for scammers? And I was like, I tried to explain it. Obviously, they didn't get it. They were saying to me, oh, well, you know what, like, you built your way up. You can come back here when it goes wrong, basically. Basically just saying, like, you're an idiot. It's not going to work. And obviously, I appreciated the gesture, but I knew that wasn't going to happen. And I knew I was ready to actually commit and go all in. So I actually landed my first remote job as an appointment setter, maybe a week or 2 in of joining this community. I met someone in the community that had a job and I took it. So I worked for an Irish fitness coach, sending DMs to like random people, his followers, that kind of thing. I think I earned £600 or £700 in my first month, no pun intended. Yeah, it was really sick, to be honest with you. It was my first bit of money I'd properly made online. Obviously, I'd earned a few hundred from trading on Amazon FBA, but this was the first time where I learned the skill, I'd worked really hard, and I'd been paid. I got sent 600, I think it was 600 euros because it was Irish, and it came straight to me. And I thought, oh my days, I've literally sent some messages on my phone and got paid. Like, that is literally a joke. So that was proof of concept to me. I went all in. I left that offer because I wasn't making enough. I went to all sorts of things. Did like a dialing role, so basically just calling leads that were interested in some program. I did all sorts. Finally, I found a offer that basically taught people how to start their own agencies, which funnily enough is what I tried before. So it's a bit of a full circle moment. Speaking to people that wanted to start their own agency, that were in the same position as me. Again, sending DMs, I was calling them, trying to book them onto calls. Loved the offer, loved the guys on it. I learned so much. And then I saw this thing called closing. Obviously, closing and appointment setting, we can go into that in another video. Basically, on the offer, they were going to hire a closer, but they actually asked me, like, Thomas, do you want to close? I had no intention of being a closer, to be honest, because I was still scared. Because appointment setting, you just send DMs, it's pretty easy. Closing, you actually speak to people and you have to actually sell them, right? And you have to ask them for thousands of pounds. That was super scary for me, so I had no intention. Again, I think it was just me trying to take the easy option, but I thought, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to try it. So I had my first ever sales call. I'm pretty sure, like, the first or second guy I ever got on a call with, I closed him. Right, he paid like £1,000 for this program, and I made commission on it, right, which is really cool. From there, basically just kept learning the skill. Learned from some of the best guys in the space who I really looked up to, who've been doing this for like 5-10 years. Learned from some of the best guys, kept developing the skill set. Started to earn more and more money. I went to places like Italy to work. I went to Marbella with 2 of my friends who now I've moved in with, and I live in my dream apartment in Manchester on the 41st floor, right, which literally 1 year ago was my dream. Okay, I can do more things for my girlfriend, I have more time to spend with my parents. It's literally like a genuine dream. And I don't think like you actually look back and appreciate it enough. I definitely don't. I always think about the next thing, but now we're speaking here and I actually properly think about my journey over the last 4 or 5 years. I'm now literally living my dream. So genuinely guys, like if you are in the position like me and if this story resonates where you are working a job, you know you've wanted things like that, wanted a better life, you know you want to provide for your family, that kind of thing. Like all I can tell you is just don't sell yourself short. I did it for such a long time, genuinely, where I'd like half-ass these business models, like go on YouTube, kind of just waste my time. And I wasted 3-4 years doing that. So if you are on the other side, just wanting more, genuinely guys, just like look into sales. It is an amazing skill. It really changed my life. But yeah, guys, feel free to message me if you have any like questions on everything. But yeah, boys, don't sell yourself short. If you have these goals, just go out, work every single day to achieve them, and you will live the life you desire. I genuinely promise that.